hook or by needles. Now I have I have a bit of sort of an apology to make because, well, it's not my fault, but I'm going to apologize for my camera or for my phone, and for YouTube or whoever's fault it is. I've lost these videos. I had done, as you know, on the last video, I'd just done a section of, I'd done a small section of the E in the cross stitch. I did another video where I had finished the E, or almost finished the E. Then I just like shut down and I did all the other letters. Then I came back and I showed you the border. Then I came back and showed you the edging of the lettering. I can't, it's gone. And I'm not going to unravel it all to re-show. So, hopefully the little bit of cross-stitching you'd had seen at the beginning of the last video will be enough. It's just a matter of following the graph as I had been. The border is a very simple border. I just did a single back post all the way around. Now, I chose single back post because I love this look. I always find it much neater than, you know, just seeing it sort of flush like that. I like to see V stitches, you know, the V's. You know, I find it just very, very neat. So that's what I did. I did a back post, whoops, wrong way again, all the way around to get my Noel bordered all the way around. Then I took a blunt, sewing needle. I thread it with the same yarn that I had used for the cross stitches. Now, you could have used a darker color, darker red, to border all the letters, as I have done. You could have used a gold thread. You could have used a contrasting one. You could do whatever you wanted. Like I say, I'm just showing you the map, if you will. And the way you get there is really your choice. Michael has shown you, if you went over to look at Michael's Tunisian simple stitch sample, he's shown you how to do that. And as I said, we cast on 44 stitches and we did 38 rows. I gave stitch fiddle, I think it's called. I did a stitch fiddle graph, which was converted to a PDF. Unfortunately, the community tab doesn't let me share PDFs. It only lets me share photos. So I took a screenshot of the PDF I had created and put that up on the community tab, as well as my, so my crude drawing is up there, but also now is also a very detailed fiddle stitch cross pattern graph. Sorry, yeah. Deep breath. Okay. I'm just a little flustered and annoyed that I'd lost all this, because I really had wanted to show you the whole process. And, you know, that's just gone now. Anyway, can't cry over spilt milk. So yeah, so I can't share the PDF, so I've shared a photo of the PDF or the graph in the PDF, and hopefully that'll be okay to print, because someone had asked me for something printable. She didn't feel that the home job, as I would call it, of me with the graph paper would have printed up very well, and she's probably right. You wouldn't see all the faint little lines of all the squares. So I'm hoping that the photo of the stitch fiddle will show up better. If not, if you want the actual PDF for the graph, email me. My email is on my homepage of the channel. It is spjm Clayton, CLAYTON @gmail.com. But you can find it anyway on the WhatsApp, you know, on the page. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it, Sam? So, edging. So I did the border, then I came back to do the edging. Now, why did I do the edging? I found that the letters were looking rather like pixelated because they were very squarish. You know, the 0 was square because it was like down here, it's just like steps. And I wanted it to be a little bit smoother. So I thought, well, if I border it, it'll be a little bit smoother. I'll be able to put slants, and it'll just hopefully look a little bit or a little less pixelated. So that's why I did that. As you can see, I only did the width of a stitch each time. So the needle goes down and up, down and up. Only doing one stitch. Now, if you came up here and went down there and had a whole, just one strand there, yes, that would temporarily work, but once that started to sag or stretch, or if it got caught on something, it's going to pull and it's going to ruin everything. That is why I did it one width at a time, one stitch at a time. Up to you again. You do not have to put the border on. If you liked the look of the pixelation of it sort of squarish, if it's more, you know, to you, if it looks more vintage like that way, do it that way. Like I say, all I've done is I've told you how many stitches, how many rows. Michael's shown you how to do the Tunisian simple stitch. If I've shown you how to do the cross stitch, and then really everything else is up to you. If you're using this as a placemat, you might want to put a flowery border on the edge. You might want to do shells. You know, you might want to do a shell edging. You might want to, you know, I don't know. You could do any number of things. I've also got my doweling rods. Dowel, whatever they're called. And as you can see, these ones are just a little bit longer than I need them to be, so that I can tie some string around each end, and then I've got something, you know, to hang it with. The way I attach it to the rod will depend on, once again, yourselves. What do you want to do? You can crochet it. I'll show you quickly how we can crochet it on. We can just do a slip knot, and I will do a slip stitch. Slip stitch into there, just to hold the yarn, and then do a chain. Bring up your doweling. We're going to go into that first stitch that we just came out of. Let me bring it in a little bit closer. So we're going to go into the first stitch. Okay, we're going to go in, and then we're going to pick up the thread at the back, and we bring it through, and then we bring that through, and then we do a single crochet. I'll show you again. You'd go into the stitch, the next stitch, around. I probably need to go out a little bit. Go around, pick up the thread, bring it through, bring your hand forward so you can grab that thread again, and then just do another single crochet. Now you can do that all the way along to secure it. You can glue it if you've got a staple gun. This is only soft doweling. Oh, I don't think it's called doweling, Sam. I keep calling it dowel. Is it dowel? Oh, anyway, you know what I mean. You could put a staple in through here if you wanted. If you had a staple gun, you could glue it. You can do whatever you want to do with it. I will probably be doing this later on, but we'll wait and see. I might even end up using it as a mat of some kind. I'm not really sure. So this is my finished project, but it's not really finished, because what I do want to do, if I'm going to use it as a hanging, I want to have from the end a lacy like fringe, but I don't want it to be sort of a cut fringe. I want it to be a looped fringe, and I want it all the way along, and I want to be able to just attach it to afterwards. So how am I going to do this? Well, this was what I was going to show you tomorrow, but obviously because of losing all those tapes, I have to show you that today. Lucky you. Right, I'm just going to put this away, and I'm going to show you this. This is what is known as a hairpin tool. Hairpin lace tool. This one is a clover one. They have come in all sorts. Some of them are just U shapes in metal with a bar to sort of keep these from bending, because you don't want these, when you're working on them, you don't want these to sort of push together, you know, because they will affect the look of the lace. Normally with lace, hairpin lace, you have a middle point, which is between your two outer pins. But because I want this, oh dear, shouldn't have put that away yet. Because I want this to hang, I want a short lace bit up here and a longer lace piece down here hanging down. So I'm going to do it slightly differently. So it'll be like this. There'll be a shorter lace piece up here, which will hopefully fold forward a bit. The middle piece will be joined to here, and then there'll be the lace loops at the bottom. Allow me to show you how to use the hairpin tool. So because I want it smaller here, I'm gonna put, I think I might put it there actually. Yeah, no, I'm gonna put it there. So how do we use this thing? Well, I'm glad you asked. You start off with your yarn. Now, you're going to need a crochet hook as well. I'm using a G 4mm because I'm using some DK 3-weight 8-ply yarn. You're going to start off with a slip knot, like little bit slip knot like you normally would, but the slip knot does not go around your hook just yet. It goes around 2 of your pins. And normally, like I say, you might only have 2 pins, and then you would use the halfway mark pointer to let you know where halfway is, and you would just work like that. But because I'm trying to get one edge wider than the other, I'm going to be using it like this. So we've got it looped around. We've got our slip knot looped around those two edges. I've got the tail end. I'm going to hold on to it here, so it might make it a little bit easier to do. It's a bit tricky, the first few sections. Once you get used to what you're doing, though, like anything, it does become easier. And it is very pretty what you end up with. So, how do we work this? So, the yarn, the working yarn has to go around, and you have to put it around the back. Okay? And the first thing you need to do is you always go up between these two pieces, these two. So you're always picking up the first leg, grabbing the working yarn, pulling it through, and you just start off with a simple chain. Okay, simple chain. Then this is what we do for the rest of it. You need to put your hook to the back first, then you slowly turn, and you turn in the same direction always. Now we're going to pick up the loop on this side between these two pins, the front leg, going to pick it up, and then we're going to do it's going to let us do a single crochet, and it's going to be tricky because it's the first one. Right, single crochet. Okay, then we go back again. Now I don't think it really matters which side you go on, but I'm going to go this side. No, I'm going to go this side because I'm trying to go on the opposite. See, now I'm over here at the moment, so I'm basically doing a single crochet on this side, and then I'm going to do a single crochet on this side. So I come over this side, I pick up the front loop, or go under the front loop only, pick up the thread, and then do a single crochet. Then I go down this side, turn it up underneath the first loop, pull up, and do a single crochet. Down, turn, and this is where you come up to the top. Makes it a little bit easier. Let me just try and so always taking the top thread, always going underneath, picking it up and doing a single crochet. And then we go, hang on, no, we go that way, yeah. Turn it, come up under, pick up the loop, and single crochet. Turn, It does take a while to get the hang of. It does take a while to actually get anything created. But like with anything worthwhile, you know, sometimes things take a while to get done. Now you can see a bit easier what's going on. I'm doing a single crochet on this side and a single crochet on this side, and that's where I'm going to sew this bit onto the end of my panel. This bit, when this pin is removed, will be lacy, and this bit, when I remove the pin, will be long and loopy and will be like a looped fringe. Now I'll be honest. When I looked to see how this was done, they all had it in the middle. I'm only doing it this way because I want a long side and a short side. I have not seen any samples of doing it that way. So, not saying I'm creating this, but just saying that none of the samples I have seen, you know, show you how to do this way. It's just because that's what I wanted for my project. I wanted to use as a fringe. The way it's normally done is where was I? Alright, yep, I'm on this side. Yeah, I am. What's normally done is you would go halfway, and you would make several, or two at least, really long I don't know what you would call them, lacy bits of this, and then you actually crochet this loop onto the loop of the second one. So you might do 2 loops of this one and 2 loops of the other one and crochet them together, and then 2 loops, or you might do 4 loops at a time, or you might do 1 loop, depending on the look you are trying to achieve. If you look here on the package, it shows you a different look. Okay, but like I say, that's not what I'm going for. I'm trying to make a fringe. I don't even know if it's supposed to be able to make fringes, but I wanted to be able to make a fringe, so that is what I am trying to do. Now, you might say, well, why are you showing me this when I haven't got a hairpin tool? Well, you can make one. All you really need is some very stiff wire. I mean, it cannot bend. You do not want it bending, because if it gets pulled together with the weight of these strands sort of thing, you're going to have, you know, your loops going in and out, in and out. They're not going to be all the same length. So you're going to need some really strong metal. You could even use some really, you know, polished wood. If you've got some old knitting needles laying around, all you need is someone to get a block of wood and get them to drill some holes for you in the block of wood, and then you would stick, that are big enough for your knit needles, old knit needles to stick in, and you could do it that way. It would easily work up around that, and knit needles aren't going to buckle under any sort of weight. So there's that option. You can you can buy the tools. You could use long nails, if you only wanted to do a little bit at a time. You could do long nails, because what happens when I fill up all this, right, when I fill up the whole area, I put my top back on, all right, then I take my bottom off, and then I would push down all my worked pieces off the needles, then just leaving a few. You still want to leave some on. Put the bottom back on, take the top back off, and keep working. Don't do that though. Ooh, don't do that. Come on, go through that loop. Oh, don't you love it how I show you all these stupid errors and things so I can show you how to fix them? Yeah, I did that deliberately. Anyway. Oh, look at the cats. Okay. So this is gonna take me like probably the next 10 years, because I've never done this before, and I don't even know if it's going to work as a fringe, but you got to try these things to see if they do work. So, and as we know, I don't like editing, so if it doesn't work, I will just come back and show you why it didn't work, because I need the videos. No, I'm sure it's going to work, because like I say, I did play around a little bit with it before, and I did sort of get it to work. But anyway, I'm going to leave this for now. I'm going to come back to this later in another video, tomorrow's video. Till then, please take care, everybody, and bye for now. Okay, just thought I'd pop back. I know I already said goodbye, but I popped back to show you what I've created. Now, see how the lace works? I've got a short end and a long end. You can have them even, and if I had two ends, the idea is you would crochet that one into that one like that, and then you'd go and crochet that one into that one like that, and so on. But I don't have two pieces, I just have one. So what I'm going to do now is, with a few stitch markers, I'm going to try and position this so it's, oh dear, on stitch markers where I am. I'm going to position this onto my edge, and then I'm gonna, once it's in position, I can sew it on. I'll be able to sew it into place onto the red. So there we go. I'll put each end up first, and then I'll So I want to gather it a little bit more. I've probably done it a bit too long, but we'll see. So sort of big loop come from? Oh, that's the starting loop, okay. I'll get the halfway mark, approximately. Is there. Dear, clip on there, and then clip on there. You can see the sort of effect I'm going to get once I've sewn that or crocheted that into position. Go. Can you see that? I think it makes a nice little fringe. And it's a little bit easier to make than some of the other fringes are. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there. I'm going to say goodbye again. I'll probably sew this on offline and show you at some later date, because I'm not going to rush to get that done because I do have other videos I need to get sorted. But I did just want to show you how this hairpin lace turns out. You know, I think it's quite pretty, and you can see how effective that's going to be, hopefully, as a border. Anyway, that's it. I'll say goodbye again. No false alarms this time. And so, yeah. Till next time, take care. Bye for now.